America! Liverpool! Give it your time! Come on!
Yeah, let's just take the point away and
Still in Liverpool, man.
Found Robertson. Robertson pulls it back. 10 goals. Goal!
What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel, guys. Your boy Ryan LFC back again, guys. Another top shelf video for you guys today. I want you guys to go and check out Cards Blog. Use the coupon code RyanLFC to get 10% off your order. Everything will be down in the description. It's a perfect FIFA card for your loved one or for yourself. You can get your own picture on it. You can rate your own self. You can get a club logo, and also you can get your country logo on it. It's a perfect gift card for someone who loves football or your girlfriend or your boyfriend. Enjoy the video.
Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of the RYAN LFC Liverpool podcast. Fortunately, we were supposed to play Wolves today, which I think we would have lost today. I think I probably would be going. They'll be on Twitter. I'd be like, "Oh, what a part! What a ever by James Milner, 1-0 Diego Costa."
I had an imaginary. I imagined the game, of course, today, and
Wolves.
Yes, and James Milner own goal.
God damn it! Well, thank God we didn't play. Well, thank you, Stephen. Thank you, Sebastian. You guys know Stephen and Sebastian from the watch-alongs. Of course, there's no watch-along today, so we're also going to be previewing on the podcast today Ajax versus Liverpool, because I think it will go ahead. I think we'll be playing in England first, or you never know, the Champions League might change it around and just go, okay, you play Ajax first. We'll have to see, but Stephen, Sebastian, I think we should start. First thing we're going to do today is we're going to do this is how the show is going to work. We've got 5 sections. The first section is season recap. Then we're going to go through the injuries this season. Then we're going to go through the summer transfer window, what we could have done better. Before we're going to go how we can more fluid in attack in terms of tactics. And the last bit will be, what do we do next? Okay?
Yep.
So that's how it's going to work. So I think first we're going to start with this game. Let me get it up for you right now. Let's start. Are you guys ready? Here we go. Let's start the first section. And here we go.
Yay.
Tell me, guys, how did you feel about this game right here? So we start off with the first game of the season, official game of the season, because obviously the 3-1 against City was pre-season. So we start off with Fulham 2, Liverpool 2. We had 2 goals by Mitrovic and Nunez and Salah. I'll go with you, Stephen, first. What was your thought originally of how we performed in the 6th of August against Fulham away?
This is obviously a weird one for me because I thought going into the season, beating Man City to the Community Shield 2-1, you thought that there would be a bit more confidence in going into this game and how the squad was lined up, with pre-season. yes, people can argue with that. What was going on at the time of preseason? It was a bit too short, but we had to. Unfortunately, that had to be the schedule. What we have to make up with. But the Fulham game for me is kind of frustrating in a way because it lies in a half-12 kickoff, and we all know we don't do well at all at half-12 kickoffs.
Yeah.
And the first half is just absolutely the most pathetic first half I've ever seen as a Liverpool fan. And go 1-0 down to Fulham, where to be honest, they're okay, but they're not going to reach the top levels of the table, in my opinion. And we should have put them to the sword, and we didn't. Second half, woke up a wee bit with Darwin Núñez making his debut and Mo Salah getting the goals. Show some good bright signs, but again, Virgil van Dijk making a stupid mistake and giving away the penalty, which ends up costing us the game 2-2 in the first game of the season. And yeah, I just remember coming out of that, and at the time, I just remember coming out of that one thinking, right, okay, we've drawn away to Fulham. It's not the best result we can get, but it's only the first game of the season. I'm not gonna rush into thinking that we're gonna panic and what's gonna happen to the club. But after this game, I was sort of I was sort of not panicking in a way. Still after the game, if you get what I mean.
Sebastian, your turn next. How did you feel about Fulham 2, Liverpool 2?
First, when we obviously beat City, I was like, I think this will be a win. Like, obviously, after we beat City.
What's that against Sebastian? I'm going to fight with one of your good friends. It's Mr. Michael. Hello, Michael.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
So we're just doing a season review so
Good.
far, Michael. Going through this shithole of a game first. Sebastian,
Why?
we'll go to you next. Michael, you're here first. So quickly, Sebastian. Michael, what was your thoughts on this game? Fulham 2, Liverpool 2.
Oh God, are we gonna go through every game this season? Is that what we're doing here? Oh no.
Yeah.
We're just
Unfortunately, yes.
We're just gonna get PTSD from doing this.
We have
To be fair, this game wasn't the worst. I mean, the first half was absolutely dire. We did absolutely nothing. The second half was better, though. The second half was much better when we introduced Darwin to the game. But I would say we kind of got lucky in this game to get a point because Fulham were fantastic in the first half. The pressing they did to us, I think we kind of took them lightly and we said, oh, you know what? We performed so well against Man City in the Community Shield. We can do the same thing against Fulham. Nope. Fulham took the game to us, and I would say we kind of got a lucky point in this matchup. But it was a good debut for Darwin Núñez, and that's been his only goal so far this season.
Sebastian, continue what you were going through. What did you feel about this game?
So basically, after we beat City, I was like, this has to be a win. But obviously, the defense didn't play well. Trent, Van Dijk, mistake to the penalty, of course. First, when I saw it, I was like, that's not a penalty, but it is what it is, basically. But Núñez, his first goal, I was very happy. And of course, the king, Mo Salah, scored. And I think it's ever since he joined Liverpool, he has scored in every single Premier game, like first game for Liverpool. Is that right? Or
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
obviously,
no,
2-2 against Fulham. If we really look at it versus a team who is probably gonna get relegated most of the seasons when they come to the Prem, that's bad. But at the same time, it's the first game of the season. First game of the season, everything could happen. Draw, lose, or win. Still have 37 more games after that. So this result wasn't that stressful.
Mm-hmm. If you look at the teams right here, for example, they had a good team. Reed, Paulinia, Gibano, Pereira, Bobby Reed, Mitrovic. This team right here this Liverpool team we put out is good enough to beat Fulham. And the fact that we conceded 2 and Thiago got injured is just a story of our life. That Thiago, first season, out for like nearly a month and a half. So, not good. My thoughts on this game, I had none because I was in Vegas and I was asleep. So I don't
It's
watch
probably a
it.
good thing. Good thing for you, Jersey boy.
Yeah.
All right, next to go on to this game, which I think frustrated me the most.
Ooh.
Just look at those stats. 24 shots, 4 on target. We can only put 1.
Yeah,
Stephen, your...
No, sorry, go ahead.
Michael, your thoughts on this game? This game was a game we didn't actually play bad in, but just everyone in that pit, front three, was just like, I'm going to take 50 touches to try and score a goal and not actually try and score the goal.
Kind of in this game, this is where kind of I was worried a little bit defensively because we were just so easily exposed, and how easy Eze got past Fabinho and Milner and Elliott. Oh, it was just so easy for Eze to get past. No, Eze, the midfielder. I mean, he absolutely ran the show for Crystal Palace. I was like, okay, obviously Phillips had to come starting centre back because Gomez was, I think, a game time injury, and he then came off the bench, was really weird. But yeah. I mean, what I take away from this game is the worrying signs of the defense and then Luis Diaz magic. That's all I can say. And then obviously Darwin Núñez being an idiot. Just being a Latino. Sebastian knows, being a Latino, you get a little bit hot. These sort of actions happen. You can look at all the Latinos that have played in the Premier League, especially Suarez. Oh, that guy, man. So yeah, this is kind of just where the worrying signs of the defense was.
Sebastian, your thoughts on Liverpool 1 Palace 1? What do you think? What did you think of that game? Because I remember we were doing the watch along and we were shouting like, "Score! God damn it!"
I was fuming. Well, Crystal Palace, they're a very good side. And I don't know. As soon as we started Milner, I knew we were not gonna win. Darwin Núñez, I don't know why he did that. He probably he put his inner Zidane inside him. I don't know why. But of course, these South American players, they do something stupid things. And like I saw this weekend already. So, well, it's kind of frustrating that we had so many shots and we could only get 1 goal. But at the same time, 1-1 versus Palace at home. Most teams, not gonna name one team. Palace is a really good team. Top 10 probably in the Prem.
Stephen, what were your thoughts on this game? This 1-1 draw.
I mean, coming after the whole Fulham game and how annoying it was, I was looking at this game as sort of a way to sort of go, all right, we've gone that out of the way. Now we can get back to Anfield and get the crowd back and get us really behind this team and to really show what Anfield's made of and how we can kick on for the rest of the season. But the first half again it started okay, but it ended up sort of being like really boring and really uninspiring at the same time. Like if you start Fabinho, Harvey Elliott, and James Milner in the midfield, which is not experienced enough, then you're going to run into troubles, early on, and then after that you just concede through a really poor defense goal, and you think to yourself, oh my god, how are we doing this again? But I always thought, but during this game at the time, that I thought we would get back into the game, but
100%.
Again, we were lackluster. We were pathetic. We did wake up in the second half a lot, and I thought we could have ended up winning the game. But yes, Diaz gets the goal 1-1, and it's just after that, we drew again, and it's like, okay, this is kind of weird. We've drawn 2 in the opening 2, not the ideal start, and you think to yourself, we're gonna have to really start picking up our acts here if we don't get this right. Because Man City, I think, I've gotten 2 wins out of the bounce, and I think Haaland at this point is scoring for fun. And I don't know how many goals it is at this point, but it's very scary. And I feel like after this again, it's really poor and it's really annoying. But I thought again after that, I thought we better get going here, because if we don't, then we may as well slip the title. That's what I was thinking at the time. Still.
Yeah, for me, for this game, I think it was the first game where the Milner starting was like a regular thing, which I'm like, how the fuck in 2022 have we got 36-year-old James Milner started? Nat Phillips started, of course. Matip, Canada were both out injured. Gomez on the bench. I think Gomez should have started for that one, but Gomez recently has been shit. That midfield did not work, and we had the usual Darwin Núñez was awful in finishing, plus he got sent off, which really didn't work. But also, I felt that when Núñez got sent off, we actually played better. And that's because we're just not used to playing with a number 9, and it's going to take some time, I think.
For sure.
All right, so that's that game. And next we move on to a game I want to cry about. Man United 2, Liverpool 1. This has to be, I'll go first. This game, in my opinion, is the worst performance I've seen Liverpool play in the Premier League in a long, long time. United were winning nearly every single fucking ball. Nearly all the balls they were winning. We just didn't look like we wanted the game. You know, last season we were like, oh, we're going to humiliate. We won them 5-0, 4-0. And I've got to give credit to Ten Hag, because he was like, Maguire, your shit. Shaw, your shit. And he's like, I'm going to drop the big boys. He dropped Ronaldo. He dropped all these players. And the players that were out there actually paid for the shirt. And that's what, you know, I think it's good about Ten Hag for United, is that he's not afraid to drop £100 million signing if you're shit. And yeah, we were just really, really awful. I think every player on that pitch is easily a 2 out of 10 except Alisson. Stephen, what was your thoughts on the first time since 2017-18 season losing to United?
It felt like shit. It felt like fucking shit. Oh my god. I do not want to look back on this game, because I was very, very skeptical coming into this game. It was kind of like, okay, Man United are crap here. Let's really put out a statement here and show that we're the better team, and they're still irrelevant to us in this certain amount of time of how our team's better than their team. But like you said, Georgie boy, from what they changed in their starting lineup, it just after that it just took over, and we seemed to be crybabies and seemed to really downplay tools again. And it was really pathetic, and there was no confidence in the team. How on earth can you start James Milner again with Jordan Henderson and Harvey Elliott, where there's no creativity in there whatsoever? And Firmino, Diaz, and Salah, where again we were at Núñez, okay, but we had to go with the front three because we had no option. It's just, for me, how could you lose this Man United team? It is absolutely, I thought it is absolutely disgraceful and absolutely pathetic, and how this Liverpool team really showed themselves out to be in front of all those fans that came to Old Trafford for a reason, you know what I mean? And to be absolutely embarrassed by their fans it's something I never want to relive again. And we should never take any sort of fixture against Man United for granted. Yes, we can say we're the better team, but they will always put up a fight against us, okay? That's the mentality going forward. Do not play down Man United or Everton, because they will give you a game. The whole game, I think it was me, Sebastian, and Yusuf doing the watch along. And I know, Jersey boy, you were trying to get to Portugal in the car. It was just pathetic what I was saying, and it was just why are we not playing the same way as we were last season, where it was just all out guns blazing, going after the title, keeping up with City, just relentless, plays and relentless playing wells and all that kind of stuff. I just it didn't seem to me like it wasn't the same. It really wasn't the same, and I started to get really pissed off at this point. And I thought to myself, we are not coming back into this game. As soon as Sancho scored, mate, I just thought we're not coming back off to win this game. There's no sort of confidence in me trying to get behind this team, what we're doing here. And then the second half, Rashford makes it 2-0, and after that, we all sort of were off the game. And that's when I started to really realise, okay, are we really going for a title here, or are we really going for a top 4 race? I was still confident in the title, yes, but the reality is, I think at this point, we were all starting to fear where the squad had lied at that point. It was, and at that point, after that, I was really scared.
Sebastian, what was your thoughts on this absolute pathetic shit show by the Liverpool? What was your thoughts on Man United 2, Liverpool 1?
Yeah, as Steven said, like me Yusuf and him were only on the watch on, so obviously you missed it. But this was not a good performance, right? How could you play like that in a game like this when it's your rivals? Obviously, United have some quality players, but I don't know why we played like that. We did versus United because that's not acceptable. Obviously, the positive was that Salah scored. And as soon as United scored their first goal, I was like, oh no, what is happening? I kind of knew we were going to lose, but this was a dreadful game that I don't want to get reminded of. But,
Exactly.
Michael, what do you think of this game? Which I'm sorry I have to remind you, but
Yeah, that's all good.
no,
I mean, this one of the worst performances I've ever seen against Man United. I mean, back in the day when Liverpool were crap, at least we put up a fight and put at least a bit of desire. In this game, we didn't show any desire, no passion or whatever. We just said, okay, we'll rock up to Old Trafford. We haven't lost the game this season. They're crap. They're going off back-to-back losses. Now we can just show up and win. No. United had better ideas. The one thing that I would just take away from this game is just Trent's lack of desire to defend. And I know it's already been like that before in the last couple of seasons, but really, like, that first goal, such an easy 1-2 to just get past. Just like schoolboy defending, not even schoolboy, it's kindergarten defending. That's how bad defensively Trent was in that situation for that 1-2. And look, we played it well in the last 20 minutes, but where was that then in the first 70 minutes? All Liverpool had to do was just get an early goal in this game to kill any confidence that Manchester United had. But once they got that first goal, I knew we were in trouble. So, yeah, I hope they have a better performance against United at Anfield, because if they don't, man, I'm going to be pissed. Because if I can accept being outside the top 4, but just give us a win over Manchester United, please. Even in the I think it was the 11-12 season or 10-11 season when we had Kenny Dalglish. Dirk Kuyt scored the hat trick. Fantastic, but yeah. At least we showed desire in that game, even though we were crap that season.
Yeah. Next up, we go into our response, which only lasted one game. I was going, oh my god, we're going to get really angry and we're going to run now. Of course, that run lasted one game, as per usual. Liverpool, thank you. So 2 goals by Luis Diaz, a goal by Elliott.
No, we won the next game,
Trent.
Jersey boy. Sorry, we won the next game after this.
Oh no, we did. Sorry, I say lost 2 games. Lost 2 games, but we were very lucky. So for this game, I was very, very happy because I was so angry after that loss to Man United. I was like, we have to respond. There is no way after losing to your biggest rivals, you can go at home to Bournemouth and just go, oh, give up. We had to be there, and I was glad that we came in there like we were hungry. We were on a feast. And we did. We were 5-0 up at half time, 9-0. Bournemouth, but we were very good. But we have to also acknowledge that Bournemouth literally could not defend, and their goalkeeper isn't that good. And we were very, very, very good. But it was just a little bit of paper over the cracks for me. Stephen, what was your response to when we showed a bit of intent after losing to Man United? We beat Bournemouth 9-0.
Yeah. Even though I enjoy 3 o'clock games, the only downside that I have to 3 o'clock games is you have to go and find you have to go on Twitter and you have to find a stream to stream the game, and you can't do anything else. You have to keep all the phones silent because you're like minutes behind. So, but anyway, that didn't really get in the way. So anyway, yeah, I thought this game was. I thought immediately out of the blocks, I was just thinking, how on earth is this Liverpool side going to turn up? Was Trent going to perform? Was the defence going to turn up? Was the midfield going to turn up? And was the forward line going to turn up? And immediately, whenever it kicked off, Luis Diaz, per-minute goal out of the blocks, and I'm thinking to myself, this is our response here. I want to see Liverpool get more goals here, because I want to see work to see that ruthlessness going forward in the squad, and I really want to see how they can keep mentality to it. So. And then after that, Harvey Elliott scores after that. What a goal Harvey Elliott scores! Oh my goodness! I know for a fact that whenever
Fantastic
he scored
goal.
that, I knew whenever he scored that I knew there was a bright future for this kid. And after that, it was also 4-3, 4-5. All the players were really stepping up. In the 5-0 half time. I mean, who says that now? And what was interesting for me, whenever the second half came around, we brought off Harvey Elliott, who had a brilliant performance in the first half. For Fabio Carvalho, who came on in the second half, and he got a goal, and nothing really changed whenever the changes happened. We sort of kept the form going, and we scored 4 more goals to make it 9-0. And whenever we scored the 9th goal, I just remember Anfield just go, "We want 10, we want 10." It turned into a cup final that stage, and you felt that from that day that it was a very special day to be a Liverpool fan, to watch how this team really were like and how they were able to score 9 goals for us. You know what I mean? But at the time, I thought after this game, I thought that Liverpool had turned on, and I thought that Liverpool would go on and really set the season alight now and really catch up with City in terms of the title. And I think that's what I was thinking at the time, even though I don't think it now. It was really what I was thinking at the time, and I was really on a buzz after that.
100%. Sebastian, what was your thoughts on Liverpool 9, Bournemouth 0?
Well, I was not on the watch along. I remember because I wasn't at home at that time, but I watched the game.
I believe the watch along was me. Was it Stephen? Were you there?
No.
No, I think it was only me and Ryan. Yeah, it was only me and Ryan, because me and Ryan were commentating also Crystal Palace versus City, and obviously Ryan was like, I knew Palace were going to beat City, and I was like, Ryan, I can't. They're going to come back, and of course they did. So yes, continue, Sebastian.
So I watched it anyways, and I saw how you guys celebrated. So this game was a very, very good game. I did not expect 9-0, but I expected us to score at least 5 or 6 goals. This Bournemouth team, I don't know what went through them in this game, but they just can't defend in this game. Man, I'm so happy to see Firmino, Carvalho, Elliott, and Luis Diaz when they scored in this game. It was very, very happy to watch this game. I'm happy to see the 9-0, especially if it's Liverpool. This game, after it, I was not that hyped, because I don't want to be too hyped, for the for the next games, if it goes downhill. So I was just calm and be like, okay, 9-0, maybe something could happen.
So Michael, what was your thoughts on Liverpool's response to losing to Man United?
This might be the weirdest game I've ever seen. I gotta be honest. This game made no sense, because how can we go from not looking like we're gonna score any goals to scoring 9? Look, we didn't really concede any big chances to Bournemouth, and then the mere fact that Salah didn't score or assist and we scored 9 goals just sums up how weird of a game this was. And Bobby had 2 goals and 3 assists. So, I mean, look, great results, good response. I was just hoping it would have continued, but clearly it hasn't. But yeah, I mean, can you go down to the lineup? I think it was Henderson, Elliott, and Fabinho. I think that was the midfield we had in this game.
Yeah,
if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah. So I mean, it worked well. I mean, Henderson was okay. I thought Harvey Elliott had a really good game, and look, Diaz has been our best player so far this season. Him and Alisson. So yeah, just a really weird game. Probably the weirdest 9-0 I've ever seen.
It was a very, very weird fixture. Very, very, very weird fixture. But I'm glad we came out, and obviously then we got another win Luckily, we were so lucky in that game because for the game to go to 98 minutes, people were saying it shouldn't be 98 minutes, but to be fair, Newcastle were time wasting to the death in extra time. So if Nick Pope's going to be on the floor for 2 minutes, it's definitely going to be, added on. So in this game, look at the stats. Doesn't say Newcastle were that good, but Newcastle were very good. Isaac scored a very good goal. Scored a second goal, which was disallowed for a toenail offside. And then Carvalho scored the last minute of the game, and Firmino scored. I think it was a good response, but it was another game where Liverpool just looked so shit for 90 minutes again. Stephen, what's your thoughts on scrape of the nail last minute winner against Newcastle?
Yeah, I mean, going into this game, I thought with the result we had the previous time, we were being Bournemouth 9-0. I thought, all right, it's good to get the win, but I will make sure that every game we have going forward is like a cup final, and we need to treat it like a cup final, and that's what I was training as before the game started. And Newcastle were going to come into town and make it difficult for us because I think Newcastle's retransformation has been absolutely amazing. To see where they were this time last year, it's where they are now is incredible, and I think Eddie Howe's got a squad that's really hard to beat in the Prem. And I think from minute one, Liverpool, like you said, struggled again, and it was one of those hard fought games. You thought, oh my god, it's frustrating and difficult at the same time to really cheer and get on behind you. I think the crowd were very, very quiet at the time as well. And then, of course, we have to concede before the halftime whistle, and all those thoughts come back into your head, and you're thinking, what was the Bournemouth game like? Was that just really anything to really get excited about? We just gone back to square one. That's what I was thinking about, and it wasn't good. And then into the second half, I just thought, go out and really kick on like you've never done before, and be absolutely ruthless, show them no mercy. You know what I mean? And we ended up scoring 1-1 again. But it felt similar to me, mate, like the Crystal Palace game again. Like, no, get the one goal, yes, but there's no urgency to go out and get the second goal, you know what I mean? And that's where I was going. And there's a story I want to tell about this game. And it involves a bird. It involves a bird on the day before the game. And I'm not going to actually say it because it did something from the sky onto my head. And I went and told my friend about it, and he said to me, if any bird sort of does that to you, it brings good luck. And I was thinking, okay, that's for the future. And then 98 minutes come, we get a corner, and I didn't really think about it at the time. I just thought, this is already over. What's the point? And then the corner comes, and it lies to Carvalho, but it takes him a while to sort of try to shoot the ball. I'm thinking, shoot, and he ends up shooting into the goal in the 90th minute, and I'm just going crazy at this point. Oh my god, I've never celebrated like that in a long time. And I thought at that moment, I thought, did the bird have something to do with it?
Maybe.
And I think to myself, I think I'm grateful for that as well, because we really don't get late. You think about the late wins back to Everton and Divock Origi and all those memories again, and we got that again against Newcastle, but it was very, very poor performance. And I went away after that performance thinking, I'm so happy we got the win, but these next games we have to improve, because if we don't improve, then it's going to be really, very hard to maintain those. You know what I mean? But I was really, really happy that we got the win after all, and kind of celebrate the rest of the night.
Sebastian, your thoughts on Liverpool 2, Newcastle 1?
This is the exactly thing I wanted. Isak to score, but Liverpool to win. It's perfect. Perfectly balanced. Obviously, I tried to hide me celebrating Isak goal. I really did not celebrate it.
Ford! I don't celebrate my national team players scoring.
Whatever. But when Carvalho scored, oh my goodness, that feeling was just nice. that was just stabbing Newcastle because of the time wasting they did. It felt so good.
They were time wasting to the max.
Felt so good to basically stab them off after the time waste. Because I predicted 2-1 Newcastle and it ended 2-1 Liverpool. It kind of jinxing Newcastle.
I went with a draw. So, Michael, what's your thoughts on this game?
How we fucking won, I have no fucking clue. Honestly, another incredible game-winning goal in the club era at Liverpool. When the likes of Lovren, obviously Origi, we just have so many memories.
Alisson.
Alisson. Oh, I forgot about Alisson. My God, how do I forget Alisson?
The best clip on this channel is, if you have to watch it back, is if you watch the intro for the last season, for the watch along,
I remember that.
Clip of me, Ryan, Yusuf, and Stephen. It was Stephen first going, "Come on!" I'm like, "What the hell?" And I had Alisson scored. I was like, "What the?" So keep going, Michael. Keep going.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah. Look. This was a bad game. How we won, I have no clue. But like Sebastian said, we kind of got what we deserved because Newcastle tried everything in the dark arts to win this game with all the time wasting, all the fake injuries, all that crap, and we did them dirty. Even though we should have not won the game, we did them dirty with that goal in a thing where I thought Newcastle would have been the more dominant in the matchup, the set pieces, and somehow Carvalho was just there at the right time, and it took me a second to realize, wait, did the ball go in the back of the net? Because the commentator was also confused here in Finland, and I was like, oh my God, it actually went in, and I absolutely went crazy. Picked up my dog and just started running around the house.
Unfortunately for me, I was in France at the time, and I was, because my mum's house is not as big as my dad's house, so it is the walls are quite thin. So I was doing the ASMR, so I was just like, come on.
Oh, you gotta be quiet.
Yeah, I was an ASMR version. Next up, we've got another game which really pissed me off once again. Just this game, this game was another game where it was 90 minutes of dog shit. And you know how dog shit we were if Pickford was man of the match, and so was Alisson. They had 14 shots on target with 21-8 on target. Stephen, what did you think? Because for me, Liverpool again, we had 2 games going, oh God, maybe we're back, and then we go straight back to Liverpool being absolute dog shit. What did you think of Everton 0, Liverpool 0?
It's really frustrating, and it's really not good to see. What if you look at the results? We really don't have the best result going to Goodison Park. You know what I mean? We kind of draw there all the time, but before the game, I was really confident that we would really turn on and really give them a beat down, if I'm being honest with you. But that just didn't end up being the case again. You know what I mean? It was just pathetic again. No urgency, no desire to really go out and score. You know what I mean? And I think it was all 4 of us doing the watch on. I don't know if Sebastian was there, but it was me, Yusuf, and Jersey Boy on the watch on. It was just the amount of times we were getting frustrated because we knew yes, we won against Newcastle 2-1, but how are we putting in the same performance again against Everton? And why are we not learning? And we almost get a scare. We get a scare from Everton going 1-0 up, and you think to yourself, oh my God, not this lot. You know, you don't want to lose to these lot, you know what I mean? It's and then we're very, very lucky for it to be offside in the first place. Offside. But again, we played very well in the second half, but there's just no way we were able to score. Like Jordan Pickford does a worldie of saves, you know what I mean, and to keep them out of us not winning. And you have to credit Jordan Pickford on that standpoint from that game. But coming out of that game, I was actually starting to really fear for the squad going forward in the Premier League. I just thought that's it's going to be really hard for the season to really go and win the title here. You know what I mean? I was actually kind of rounding off at that point. You know what I mean? It wasn't just from last season. It was actually the first few games that were just not giving me any confidence at that point to really say we're going to go win the league. And after the Everton game, I sort of wrote off the title, and it was really sad for me to say that. But I also said we're far. That squad is far miles off that City squad. You know what I mean? And I just remember ranting, going, "We have not improved on the midfield whatsoever." And we were all saying we have to get a midfielder in ASAP, and we ended up getting Melo 2 days later in the transfer window, which is also not good enough because we know he's injury prone as well. He's like Thiago, but he's just injured all the time. So you cannot rely on this guy, and it was just all doom and gloom after that point. You know what I mean? It wasn't good, and yeah, for me, this game is something I just want to write off. You know what I mean? I was not happy whatsoever.
Sebastian.
So this game, I was not on the watch on, but I kind of watched a bit of it. But this was a bloody boring. Like, this was kind of an exciting, boring nail game. Both coaches as man of the match. That's just weird because that never happens. That rarely happens in this world. The last time I saw it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, in one of those random leagues that I watch. Newton versus Everton, of course, that's frustrating, but it's the Merseyside derby, one of the biggest derbies in England, if not the biggest. Obviously, both teams want to go all in and just play dirty this game, especially Everton, just a dirty team that I don't like. I don't know, Everton always plays dirty against us, and they can't beat us anyways. So I don't know why they keep doing it, because they can't beat us. We're like brick walls that when we play versus Everton, they can't beat us because they're too bad.
The thing is, the only time Everton have beaten us in recent history was when there were no fans and we had no defenders. So they have to have no defenders and no fans at Anfield for them to beat us.
That's
so
like
Michael,
a trophy.
Yeah, Michael, what are your thoughts on this absolute shit show again?
It was a shit show, but we almost won at the end. That's the thing. It was almost a carbon copy of the Newcastle, where terrible, but we won. But this time we just couldn't win, and oh god, just again. I mean, the midfield was absolutely destroyed in this game. Just absolutely destroyed. I felt bad for the two young kids, Carvalho and Elliott. Just such if you're gonna play young kids in this matchup, all right, that's fair enough. But you gotta bring some experience in that midfield. Now, I know everybody's gonna say, why would you bring Milner or Henderson? But I think for this game, you should have brought Milner at least. But what did he do then? This game, I'm more mad at Klopp because some of the substitutions he was making just made absolutely no sense. And Milner played right back, center midfielder, and I think left back out once in this game. All in the same game. It was just terrible from Klopp. I think Klopp really messed up in this matchup, and we kind of got lucky again because Maupay should have scored, but we know how terrible of a finisher he is in front of goal.
And he took off Costa Simicas. It was Robertson just
doesn't make sense.
The Klopp this season, and next up we've got the most recent fixture.
Let me go first.
You go first on this. You go first on this, Michael. Liverpool. We've gone like this season, and then we've just gone. It keeps going worse and worse and worse. That's why I'm thankful we didn't play Wolves this weekend, because I think we would have lost. Michael, what do you think of Liverpool once again embarrassing and being embarrassing?
This might be the worst Liverpool performance I've ever seen in my life. I'm not even kidding. I know we lost 5-0 to Man City, but that's because of the early red card. That first half was the worst I've ever seen Liverpool play, and we've had some terrible teams. Look at this players we have on this squad. Look at the manager. We've had bums like Downing, John Joe Shelby, Jay Spearing, Charlie Adam. They had a better first half than what these guys performed. The worst. Oh my god. I literally, you know what? I turned it off after 2-0. I couldn't do it anymore. And then I went back so I could at least give some analysis of the game. I just stopped after 2-0. I was like, what's the point? Because clearly to me, it seemed like the players didn't give a shit. That was the biggest worry for me. The players just didn't have any any enthusiasm for the matchup. We're in a Champions League night. The first night. You're going away to Naples, a ground we have never won before, and you're just going to think you can rock up with some arrogance. And what arrogance have you built throughout this season? Oh, because you're unbeaten in 3 games. Really? I'm sorry. This is the only bright spot in this game was Thiago coming back and Thiago having more tackles won than all of the midfield in the first 60 minutes. That is a horrible stat. And then 2, Luis Diaz. Everybody else should not get paid this week because of that performance. Terrible. Absolutely terrible. And I'll be honest, I was ashamed to be a Liverpool fan the next day. Because what you expect as a fan is, 1, you get that the players give everything. 2, that they play for the badge. And that they didn't do any of that. If we lose, okay, I can accept losing. I don't mind losing if the other team or the better team on the day. But if you're not even going to try, what's the fucking point then of me supporting you? That's because I'm still ashamed about it. If they perform like that again in the next game, look, I'm not going to watch Liverpool because I'm not going to watch a team that just think, okay, because I have this jersey and I have this wages that I can just perform lackluster. No. You play for the badge. And if you don't, all right then, that's your choice.
Sebastian, what was your thoughts?
Poor.
Sorry, Michael. Sebastian, what was your thoughts on this embarrassing performance? Of course, you were there the watch along with us, and you were saying this shit.
The worst match I have seen from Liverpool in my lifetime. I don't know what we were. The only bright spots from this game was obviously Alisson because he said a penalty, but he conceded forwards, and there's nothing you could do about those goals. If I'm being honest, Thiago, when he came on, something happened to that team, and we stepped up, but we didn't get those goals that we needed. Obviously, Luis Diaz was the best player on the pitch for us. And yeah, when Luis Diaz goal scored, I was like, yeah, okay, this is good from Diaz. At least Diaz tried. That's positive, but we gotta give credit to Napoli. That midfield got absolute bullied by Zambo and Gisa, who played for Fulham last season, if I'm not mistaken. And Kvaratskhelia or something.
Kivica Kvaratskhelia. There you go.
Okay. He's a baller. If
This kid right here is telling you he is an absolute baller. Number 77. He is a baller.
What a baller. Trent got bullied by him. Not that surprised because Kvicha has been very, very good this season for Napoli in the Serie A. Well, Napoli were the better team. Absolutely shocking. I'm upset about this loss, but we move from this result and what we can do next game. Obviously, I hope we can do better, but these results come and don't leave our heads, basically.
Stephen, your thoughts on this? You were there with us for the watch along, watching his absolutely pathetic performance. What did you think of this game?
This had to been the worst game I had watched for a very, very long time. Not even under Klopp. It was just the way we started off. And Liverpool teams aren't like that. We don't get up. Jurgen Klopp's team don't really. They can't start well. To be honest with you, you know what I mean. And this was the first time that Klopp kind of got exposed, and we were the ones on the back foot. You know what I mean. Napoli had full control of the ball, and whenever Napoli scored the first goal in the first 5 minutes, I wrote off the game. I just wrote off the game. It was just for me. We were not going to get anything out of this game. First off, we have a per away form in Napoli anyway, and with this team, when I see James Milner in the team again, it just shows me that what is Klopp's decision making at this point say about himself? It is that ridiculous and that pathetic that he's going to all means necessary to start Milner again, where he's clearly got Melo and Thiago on the bench. We need the creativity right now. Has the club not seen how many games we've started off? and how bad we played them. It's beyond ridiculous at this point what he's thinking. And for me, I will always love Klopp for what he's done for this club, always. And I'll keep continuing to support the manager going forward. But the reality is, I have not seen anything right now to show me why Milner has to start, why Trent is keeping his place. I don't know why Robbo's keeping his place, and why Mo Salah's keeping his place. This is beyond a joke now, and I'm starting to get to the point where I can't defend this, and I really want to see so many changes against Wolves that I really need to see them. But yeah, like the first half we were pathetic, didn't do anything. Second half again we were pathetic. Got the goal. Diaz was the main player for us, but there was no confidence at all from Wednesday night, and I just thought I'm actually struggling here where we are going to challenge for top 4, or we're going to finish in the Europa League. That's the reality we could be in here, lads, and it's really really scary to know where we are. But if Klopp doesn't pick this soon, that's the direction we're going in, and it all came from against Napoli. And you can fuck me up on it.
Yeah.
It's just
so, my thoughts on this game, this 100% was the worst game of Liverpool since Aston Villa beat us 7-2. But if you look at the stats in those 2 games, Aston Villa had 18 shots, 11 on target. We had 11 on target, and we had 14 shots, 8 on target.
You know what's the difference between the two games, Jersey Boy, though? That Aston Villa game was just weird because Adrian was just terrible. I think 4 of the goals that Aston Villa scored were deflections.
Yeah, the thing is, Aston Villa weren't even that good, right? And the thing is, I actually think this result is worse than that game.
Oh, yeah.
For the simple reason that against Aston Villa, the players were still trying. They never gave up. They were still trying. To this game, not one single player except Diaz and Alisson actually did anything. And this game made me really think that there's some real problems. We'll talk about this later, but this game was completely awful. And I think we're in the mud this season. But
could I add up something? And the fact that we could possibly play even Europa League or Conference League next season.
Even this season, you couldn't even get Europa League this season.
We could play in the likes of countries of like Sweden, Portugal, Finland, Bulgaria. Like
we're going to be playing Wi-Fi passwords.
Yeah, Wi-Fi passwords.
All right. Well, next part of the show we're going to go through, which I think had an impact with the team, but not too much. We're going to go into Liverpool's injuries this season and talking about squad depth. So first of all, Thiago getting injured, not that surprising. But Sebastian, when you saw Thiago going down against Fulham, what was your reaction?
I was crying. No, I'm joking. I was not crying, but I was just upset because, to get Thiago injured, that's just heartbreaking because he's probably he's our best midfielder with Fabinho. And when he gets injured, when you could see when he plays, we do much better than when he's injured. Also, when he's injured, he can't play. Also, but it's so much different than when he plays and when he's not. So I'm always worried when Thiago goes down injured. Because I don't want any of our players to get injured. It's just sad to see our players getting injured, especially Thiago, when we know his qualities. We have seen it with Barca in his early days. Obviously, he had Xavi and Iniesta. He couldn't get before them at that time. Obviously, at Bayern Munich, he was probably one of the best centre-mids in the world when he played for Bayern. But, I hope he keeps fit for the rest of the season.
No, so for the injury season, we're going to do a bit differently. I'm going to give each of you a player to talk about. Stephen, you're going to talk about Oxlade-Chamberlain. Oxlade-Chamberlain injured again. was in pre-season. What the fuck is this guy still doing there? Talk to me about Slade.
I've obviously done something to make him stay at the club. Is it that ridiculous? I mean, I'm just baffled at why he's still here. He's clearly got an injury record which he hasn't really particularly resolved here. After that Man City, after that injury against Roma, he hasn't been the same. And it was frustrating to me because I thought he would go on to bigger and better things in the squad, but he just hasn't. And you thought we could have sold him on, in the summer to really make up for midfielder. We just haven't, and there's a reason why we're lacking the midfield because we haven't really replaced Gini in that sense. Last summer we haven't done it at all, and we're keeping the likes of Keita and Ox so far, and they're not even in our squads for the Champions League. What is that all about? We're actually lacking more in midfield than what we were doing now when we're actually losing them to. So I just want them sold. I just want Ox and Keita sold. It's just getting to the point where it's getting ridiculous. I don't know why FSG are keep thinking in keeping these guys at the moment. So my thoughts on Ox, he was a really good player for a while, but he didn't show his actual potential here at Liverpool, and unfortunately for me, he should be sold, and it should be in January, in my opinion.
100%. Michael, you're going to talk to me about. I'm going to talk about Keita. I want to talk about Diego Jota. How bad did we miss Diego Jota with his injuries, and what was your thoughts about his injury?
Well, the injury happened, I think, with actually Portugal in the Nations League, so that wasn't the greatest thing. Missed a lot of months, missed preseason. If he would have been healthy, he would have started for us on match day 1. No doubt about that. It would have been Diaz, Jota, and Salah. And, hey, maybe it could have been different. I love Jota. I think Jota is very underrated. I think he gets a lot of slack from the Liverpool fan base because of his link-up play, which I know is not the greatest, but that guy's a poacher, and he's a very good striker in my opinion. So we desperately need him. And look, I mean, he hasn't had the greatest impact in the last 2 games since he's come on, but I think he's going to start the next game when Liverpool play. I think it's going to be Diaz, Jota, and Salah, and we desperately need Jota because he gave us 20 goals last season. We need that right now because nobody in this team can score except for Diaz. Nobody. So that's a big worry. So we need Jota badly, and look, just hopefully he doesn't get more injuries. That's the main thing.
Okay, so I'm going to talk about 2 players. I'm going to talk about Keita and Ramsey. So with Keita, it's just typical. Every season he gets injured. This guy is absolutely effing useless. Keita is useless. The man has legs made of chewing gum. Like, no joke. Like, I swear to God, Klopp said he fell over and got a bad hamstring injury. How do you fall over and get a bad hamstring injury? That must have been a mega fall. Did he fall off the plane or something?
He fell off the skateboard.
No, but listen, Keita injured again, off hamstring injury, and the fact that he's on the Champions League squad and Guinea have announced him in the new squad, I'm like, what the hell is going on? I seriously have a feeling he's not that badly injured and Klopp's exiled him because I think he's exiled him and I think Keita's refusing to play. And if he's refusing to play, then he can piss off in January because he's only had like 2 or 3 good games. He's been, I say this right now, he's been one of the biggest flops for Klopp. He is a massive flop, Keita. You should go back to Leipzig or whatever because maybe they need a midfielder. Ramsey, can't say much about him. He hasn't played either. But the thing which is really bad for me with Ramsey is that maybe if Ramsey was here, he could try and compete a little bit with Trent. But, he's getting fit now. So hopefully, he'll come in. So that's about the injuries. Next, we're going to go into the summer transfer window. And we're going to talk about each transfer individually. And then we're going to go our rating out of 10 for the summer transfer window. I'm going to start with you, Michael. So Arthur Melo, Darwin Núñez, Carvalho, Ramsey, I believe that's our signings. What was your thoughts on our summer transfer window? There's 4 or 5 signings. What would you have done different? And then give me a rating out of 10.
I'll give you the rating out of 10 first because that's easy. I'll give you a 4 out of 10. Terrible transfer window. So we go for Tchouaméni, we don't get a midfielder. What's the point? It's so like I don't need to go to uni. I don't even need to go to high school to understand that Liverpool need a midfielder. I don't need a UEFA Pro License A or something like that, or be a scout for 20 years to understand Liverpool need a midfielder. How many of us have talked about get a midfielder? We can't keep going with Henderson, Milner, Naby Keita, Thiago. Two of those guys are injury prone, and two of those guys are they're just dreadful. I'm sorry. Even though Henderson, they can be part of the squad. I don't mind that. But starting for Liverpool, there is no chance. No chance. So we don't even get a midfielder, and then we sign Arthur Melo. Like, seriously, like, okay, that's just a panic buy, and he's just probably going to be a guy who just probably gets maybe less than 20 games this whole season. I don't really understand why we got Arthur Melo. I have to be honest. Carvalho looks promising, but he's for the future, so I like the promising start that Carvalho has had. I don't know which position he's going to play, though. Is he going to be a left center midfielder? Is he going to be a left winger? That's going to be the kind of the question mark with Carvalho. Calvin Ramsey, makes sense we signed him, but we signed him when he's injured. So why do we sign somebody when he's already injured? Works perfectly. Fits into Liverpool's motto. You're injury prone? Oh, no. Oh, that's okay. We're going to sign you. Don't worry about that. It just doesn't make any sense to me. And then Darwin Núñez, I have to be honest, I don't know why we signed him. And I don't know why we paid that much money. I think it's just kind of like, oh, we have all this money. We saved it for Tchouaméni. Let's just get a striker instead. I've seen Darwin Núñez. I don't rate the guy. Even before we signed him, I don't rate him. He can, if we give him service, okay, he can be good. He doesn't create his own chances. That's the biggest problem I have with Darwin Núñez. He is a prototypical number 9. Very good in the box, has great movement off the ball, but if you give him the ball, because you can see in the games that he's played, he loves to drift out wide to the left. But who plays there? Darwin Núñez. So that's going to be the problem, is how are these two going to communicate and then obviously feed the ball to each other. So, yeah, I mean, honestly, just a terrible transfer window. We have so much money, we don't spend it. I don't understand. I mean, I've been FSG out since January 2021 because of that disaster of a transfer window. And then obviously with the Super League, that just tipped it over the bar. And I'll still be FSG out because these guys have all the money in the world. And if you want to see what Liverpool are going to become, look at the Boston Red Sox. These guys have been stale since they won the World Championship. And that's been now, what, 5 years? They haven't done anything. I feel like that's going to happen to Liverpool at this point because these owners just don't want to spend. I saw a crazy stat. Liverpool has spent 200 million in like the last 4 seasons, I believe. 4 seasons. Every other top 6 team have spent 450 million. 450 million. Where's our midfielders? Where's our backup for Trent that all this time? Where's the backup striker? Where's the backup right winger for Salah? If Salah gets injured, oh, we in big trouble because who's gonna play the right wing? Harvey Elliott? Come on. I don't know what to make of FSG. If they promise me again a big summer transfer window next summer and they don't deliver, I better see banners of FSG out. I don't care because these guys are not helping Liverpool brand at the moment. They're gonna just make us into a Europa League team at this point. And we have a fantastic manager in Jurgen Klopp, and he's been papering over the cracks because he's made these guys play some fantastic football in the last couple of seasons. But you kind of see now this team needs a refresh, and we haven't refreshed it enough. We've made some good signings in the defense and goalkeeper. I think our defense and goalkeeper are set for the future. Our midfield is not, and our attack, other than Diaz and maybe Darwin Núñez and Jota, for the future, I don't know. It doesn't look promising, to be honest. And I just don't understand we didn't sign a midfielder. I really don't. Are we so headstrong on getting Jude Bellingham? Jude Bellingham. He looks like a very good player, and I've seen him play. He's very good. For me, I would not spend 100 million on Jude Bellingham. That's just me.
I understand what you're talking about because of FSG. We all know if we're selling Bellingham next summer, it's going to be Bellingham and that's it. That'll be it.
And so we sign only one midfielder when we need 3.
But think of it. If we don't get Bellingham, we can get that 100 million and split it into different players.
I think we should go for 2 midfielders next summer. We should go for Barella.
So
And then
I
we should go for
hate
another.
the fact that we did not get Núñez. Like that was just ridiculous.
Yeah.
First of all, hello Doug. Doug, if you still have time, you can still hop on if you want. If you've got time, if you're allowed to come watch or play back, you can. If you can't come on, that's fine. But you still are going to come on if you have time. I fear Jurgen walked for, and I fear the same as well. Going on to that, Sebastian, give me your thoughts on the site, like just Michael did. thoughts on the signings I made this summer. I want to give you to give me a rating out of 10 for the summer transfer window and what you would have done differently.
So, I would give this rating. I would say 4, same as Michael. I'm still not. I don't know why we signed Nunez for 100 mil or something when we could have signed Haaland for like 60.
Sebastian, he was never going to come to Liverpool.
Never, but he was never
his
going to
dad.
go.
It was his dad connection.
It was a connection with his dad, first of all, and it's not 50 million. You got to pay his dad. You got to pay his
agents and all
agent
the
who's now passed away. You've got to. It's a lot. It's pretty much 200 million. The Haaland deal. So we were never getting Haaland, and wages as well. You know, he's on like what Salah's on. It's how much hassle we had to go to even get Salah with that wage. So it's never going to happen. So yeah, continue, Sebastian.
So I would have sold Keita and Ox to bring in 2 midfielders and probably split that 100 mil with some for.
One second. Hello, Doug's joining us. Hello, Doug.
Hello, how are we all?
Good. We'll just quickly before you finish, Sebastian. We're doing at the moment, Doug. We've gone through all the fixtures, talked about fixtures. We're now doing a summer transfer window. So I've asked everyone to tell me what you thought about all the signings, a rating out of 10, and then what you would have done differently. So Sebastian's doing it now, and next I'm going to ask you what your thoughts on that.
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so
go on, Sebastian.
Yeah, this is what I would have done instead of signing Nunez for 100 mil, which I think is stupid of us to do because we could have sold Keita and Ox, then bought 2 midfielders, and then buy 1 right wing backup, and then possibly a CDM to cover for Fabinho. If we signed Tchouameni, I'm not sure if I still think we would have signed Carvalho, Calvin Ramsey, but I'm not sure about the rest. But I'm still not happy about this transfer window, if I'm being honest. Plus Arthur Melo, I don't think he's that good. I'd say he played for Juventus. He wasn't that good. I'll say you could ask Michael about that. He watched a lot of Serie A. I don't know. This transfer window has been not that good, if I'm being honest.
Doug, what was your thoughts on the players we signed? Give me a rating, and also tell me what you would have done differently for this summer transfer window.
Well, I wouldn't have spent 100 million euros on Darwin Núñez. Let me just say that. I think the player we should have went out for is Manchester City right now, JOIN Alvarez. I've been saying it for I think me and Michael have been saying this for a long, long time, that Alvarez was the one to go for. I know he obviously signed like a P thing maybe with City, but we should have been in there when we had the chance. Calvin Ramsey is a sensible signing, I think. We've needed right back cover for ages. I would have stripped Naby Keita and Ox out of their contracts because both of them are just unreliable. I mean, Naby Keita has been called up to the Guinea national squad despite being supposedly injured.
I don't get it.
So it's just absolutely ridiculous. Fabio Carvalho, absolutely agree with that signing. I think he's been fantastic since he's came in as well. Arthur Melo, whether or not that works is another matter. But for me, I think it's been a shambles of a window. I think it has. I would probably say, I mean, it probably isn't 1 out of 10, but it's probably like 3 or 4 out of 10. It's been that shambolic because we needed to strengthen the midfield and we didn't.
100%. For me, my opinion about this, before we go to you, Stephen. Stephen, did I do you or no? You haven't had no. Yeah. So I'll go quickly and then we'll go to you. So for me, listen, the problem this transfer window was, as Doug, Michael, and Sebastian said, we've been screaming for a midfielder. The fact, the last few games, the midfield's been nearly the same as 18-19, which shows we've literally changed nothing except Harvey Elliott. The fact that James Milner starting in 2022 is a crime. That's a crime. And like for me, this is what I would have done. As Doug would have said, I would have gone in January with City and competed to get for Julian Alvarez because he's ridiculous. He could play on the wing, through the middle. I think it'd fit Liverpool better. And secondly, if we weren't even going to do that with false 9, I would have gone in for Nkunku. But we didn't. We went for Darwin Núñez. He only had one good season, and I haven't been impressed with him yet. So maybe he'll become a Haaland in the future, but I don't know. I just think at the moment he's just, you know, a lot of his shots are just comical. So for me, definitely, I would have gone with Nkunku. I would have gone with a midfielder, probably Lema from Leipzig, and another midfielder. I don't know who else. Because the fact is, we had 2 months between Tchouameni denying us. How the hell, in those 2 months, we didn't go, oh, maybe we need a midfielder? Is ridiculous and embarrassing. And for me, I love Calvin Ramsey. I think he's very good for Aberdeen, but I think we needed a right back to come in now. I could play like a Simicast, because Trent this season has been probably a League One defender. He's been that bad.
He's been Sunday League.
Trent has been playing like he feels he's undroppable because basically there's no competition.
There isn't.
And Van Dijk, for me, is playing like he's on World Cup mode right now.
Yeah, saving his egg for the World Cup. Like, he should be... Like, there's a lot of times he's just standing there. I'm like, against United, he's like just standing back. Just tackle. What are you doing standing there like a statue? So that's what I would have done. Stephen, tell me what you would have done differently. Reading out of 10. So me, Reading out of 10, I'm going to go 2 out of 10 for me. I think it was completely wrong. Except Carvalho and Ramsey for me. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, I thought the transfer window wasn't good enough. I said it after the Champions League final, where I came on here after the game on the stream, and I said that we needed a goal poacher, a brand new goal poacher, which I thought Firmino wasn't doing anymore, and I thought we were lacking that bunch of goals from that. And I also said we should get a midfielder in ASAP, because we started Thiago in the Champions League final, where he clearly didn't look fit to start the Champions League final, which I didn't get at all. So all these things that Klopp's doing is really dodgy in the squad, and it's really making things much harder, and it's not good to see. And I called it after the game. And I was kind of proving right that we got Darwin Núñez. We have to wait and see how he gets on. It's only the start of the season. I just feel like the whole midfield situation has been the out and out stand out of this whole thing, and it hasn't been good enough from our standpoints to do so. And I would rate this transfer window a dodgy 4 out of 10, to be honest with you. I just thought we could have done much better than midfielder, and I feel like we have regretted that ever since. And we should have acted on getting an Nkunku or Tchouameni quickly. If not, you could have went out and got that Matthias Núñez from Sport Lisbon. What happened? He went to Wolves. Why did we let him go to the Wolves? What does Klopp not rate him? Well, I'm sorry, mate, Klopp. Even if you don't rate a player, he's still a good player. He can still get in the midfield. The whole Melo thing has been a panic, by my opinion. And we're running into the same problem with MSG, that we get a cat back in, a panic sign. He goes back on loan to Schalke. Look at Ben Davis. We brought him in. He's done absolutely nothing. He actually, I don't know if he actually started the game for Liverpool. It's been that bad, and I don't know where he is at the moment. But it's just, for me, the whole thing from start to finish is a bit of a shambles, in my opinion. And will that work out going forward? I don't know. I'm in the middle. I'm sort of in the middle of what FSG are doing in their plans, because I feel like FSG, what they've done for our club has definitely taken time for us to win the Premier League and the Champions League. But I do think we need more as Liverpool fans going forward. I feel like we want to compete now, and I feel like we need to keep those standards and competing at the top of the table. But in order for FSG to do so, they need to act now a club, and they really need to give them the funds to do so. Because I feel like if they don't give them the funds to do so, then I'm afraid I can't put my faith in these owners anymore, and I'm afraid we're going to run into that same problem again. So I think that this transfer window has just been an utter shambles, in my opinion. And I think I was right afterwards that signing these guys were a bit of a crucial point in our season, and we didn't do so. Look where we are now.
Yeah,
we could be fine for Europa League at this point. I'm the whole thing's been. I've just been pissed off. I've been so pissed off.
Yeah. Next up, we're gonna go into tactics of the season. So obviously, we've been playing 4-3-3 all this season. I don't know what you guys think. I'll go for all of you guys to talk about 4-3-3 first. Am I the only one thinking that under 4-3-3, I swear nearly every manager in the Premier League knows how to get at us a 4-3-3. We play the exact same. It's Trent, Robbo, Cross, to Darwin Núñez or whoever, and we get caught all the time. Doug, what do you think about 4-3-3? Because I think under 4-3-3, we've been found out.
I think it's finished. I think it is finished under us. For me, it should be a 4-3-2-1 or a 4-2-3-1, whichever you want to put it, because there has to be a change at some point. You just can't keep playing 4-3-3 because we've been found out, and I think we've been found out for a while, to be fair. So yeah, for me, I think we need a formation change. Hoping to see it against Ajax. I'm not sure if we will, but we'll wait and see. But I think there has to be a change now.
100%. Listen, Sebastian, do you agree with that? Just give me a yes or no quickly. Do you agree with that? Have we been found out on the 4-3-3?
Yes.
So, Stephen? 4-3-3, do you agree?
I don't know. I'm on the fence of it at the moment. I'm in the middle of it, so I think that 4-3-3 at the moment for me is still unsure.
Michael, 4-3-3.
Bin it right now. Get rid of it.
Here's the mate. We'll go to the next formation. This is something that I've done Football Manager and FIFA a lot of the time when I talk about Liverpool.
So you're an expert.
Yes. For me, Klopp will never do this because he's very stubborn. But I think we would ball and stop conceding silly goals if we went to a back three. Because Virgil looks completely lost in a back four at the moment. Gomez doesn't look good. You could do something like Matip, Kanate, Virgil in a back four. So we go Virgil in the middle. You have Matip this side. Konate this side.
Yeah, but Konate... Okay, but we can't play that right now because Konate's not fit. To be honest...
In the future, I'm talking about in the
future. Right now, I would actually play Andy Robertson at left centre back. He's played there a couple times for Scotland. I would try him there.
Let's have a look. Just for the game. So you go Robertson there. We go Trent wing back. Simicast because I think he's more attacking.
Yep.
Now for that midfield pivot, I'll ask you guys.
Was that Kieran Tierney?
I think Robbo's played there a couple times as well, Doug, left centre back.
I think there's been time where Quintini switched to left wing back and then Robertson's gone to centre back.
I think sometimes, I mean not all the time. I know it's been more Tierney, of course, Doug.
I've watched a lot of Scotland games, and the only one I can remember being left centre back is Kieran Tierney. So I think as well. I don't know if Andy Robertson's too small to be a centre back as well.
That's true. For me, I would go maybe play Gomez in the back three because the thing is Gomez has been really shit recently, but he's going to get more covered. You see Maguire, who's absolute dog shit in the back three for England. He's covered. So maybe you go Gomez there. But the thing is, for that midfield, who would you go in that midfield? Right now, I think for me, I'd go Fabinho and Thiago in a pivot.
Yeah, I was going to say that. It has to be Fabinho and Thiago. I mean, that's the best we can put out. In that midfield right now. And there's no one else to do it. It's so bad at how far has Henderson's standards sort of dropped this season? He's meant to be our fucking captain.
No, it's been dropping since last season. That's the thing.
No, yeah.
It's been dropping since last season, but because he's the captain,
But
everybody loves him.
that's so bad as well. Because how's this guy lifted us in Premier League and a Champions League? And he's just dropped his level. It doesn't make any sense.
He's been dropping his level since 1920 season. Since then,
But
you've seen
the
the
crazy
slow
thing-
decline.
Because the thing is, you guys remember how we were all protesting the fact Henderson was gonna not get a new contract, and now we're looking at it going, why do we give him a new contract?
See, the thing is, I don't mind Henderson coming off the bench. I have no problem
No,
with that.
I agree with that, but he should not be started.
Oh, no way.
He's not
Absolutely
very
not.
Whatever.
Quickly, Doug, would you go with that Fabinho and Thiago in that pivot with Trent and Tsimikas wing backs? Would you change that? Or would you put someone else? Would you put Robbo there? Or keep Tsimikas?
I mean, the problem with Andy Robertson is he's played 2 games in June for Scotland, and he's already been very, very what's the word? Like he's jaded. He's absolutely jaded. He's absolutely knackered. So I think for me, Tsimikas needs an extended run in the team.
So in that front three now, this we're talking about a new tactic. So we're talking as if we're going to play back three versus Ajax, right? For me, quickly go. I'll go everyone first, and we'll see what comes up the most. Come up with. I'll go to you first, Doug. Who's number 9?
As much as I want to say Darwin Núñez, I think it might be Diogo Jota.
So you're going Jota. Okay, so it's 1 for Jota. Michael.
Jota, easy.
Jota. 2 for Jota. Sebastian.
Jota.
Okay. Stephen, I'm guessing you're going to say Jota.
I think, I don't know whether this is controversial or not. I'm going Salah. And the reason why I'm going Salah is he is so far out wide at the moment at the right wing. He is not getting a sniff at what he used to do in that right wing. I think that his stats have been absolutely criminal in these past few games. I feel like we cannot let that go forward. Klopp's going to keep playing that way with Salah, and it's just not going to work. I feel like we have to play Salah down the middle. What you do is you start Salah up front, then you put Jota out on the left wing, because it helps sort of Robbo and his stance with Jota's relationship. Because we all know that Diaz and Robertson's relationship with the left back and the left wing have not been good enough. That their communication has been absolutely abysmal ever since Mane left. I feel like if you put Jota there on the left wing, it sort of staples Robbo's sort of partnership, because he's known Jota more than Diaz. Like I think a season and a half before when Diaz arrived in the squad for after when Jota did. So I think you do that, and then on the right wing you put a Diaz there. I think Diaz has played a right wing a few times for Liverpool, and he's done really good in that position. So I feel like if you put a Salah in the middle, a Jota on the left, and a Diaz on the right, wouldn't all be the baddest thing in the world, in my opinion, to do against Ajax.
Let's go left wing now. I think most of us are going to go Diaz, but some of us might have gone swap with Salah and whatever. But Douglas, you go first.
Yeah, Diaz all day long. I think
Diaz. 1 for Diaz. Michael.
El Maestro Diaz.
Sebastian.
Lucho Diaz.
Stephen. You're going. You and Jota.
Jota. Yeah, I'm a Jota.
They're going Diaz, and then right wing. Doug. Right wing.
It's got to be Salah, surely.
Salah. Michael.
Do I need to answer that?
Salah. Sebastian. Either. Or you're going to drop Salah.
It's not Salah. It's Mo Salad. So I'm going to say Mo Salad.
Stephen. Your one is Diaz, right? Because you went Diaz right wing.
Yep.
Okay, Salah. So I honestly think this team would do much better than right now, because the thing is, if you think about it, everyone knows we play 4-3-3. If we come out playing with a back three, they're not going to be used to playing against a back three Liverpool. So they're going to have to do all their tactic research again, because they won't know how we play, because we play differently. We wouldn't do that. If we went to a 4-2-3-1, which is what Doug mentioned, for example, right? We go back 4-2-3-1 right now. the problem with that, in my opinion, in a 4-2-3-1, is we know that Trent this season cannot defend. So huge problem with that is we need 3 midfielders, Fabinho, probably Thiago, and probably put Elliot there. Elliot's not that good defensively, so Elliot can't go back, tracking back and doing Trent's work for him. So that's the real problem. So let's move on. Let's move on quickly now, because we're going to do the last part, which is up next. Before that, our next game is Ajax, right? So we're going to do the Ajax proper preview. I'll start off with you, Doug. Liverpool, I don't know what the hell we were doing against bloody Napoli. We've gone downhill since. We've looked at ghosts of ourselves. And obviously, the Premier League's been cancelled this week due to the Queen. God bless her soul, and God save the King. But I think we will play Ajax. It might be away in Ireland, or they might switch it around where we play Ajax away first. Stuff like that, because they might not want us to play. Because I think the worrying thing is that they're scared that they do the armbands and the national anthem or whatever at Anfield, and we start booing it. And that's not what I want.
Well,
so
I don't want to be political on this channel, but I'm sorry, it's probably going to get booed in Liverpool. And
I guarantee it is, and that's one of the main reasons I feel they did that, is that they believe teams like Celtic and us and other teams will boo it, and it doesn't look very good for England. So,
no.
Doug, what would you do against Ajax?
I mean, the Ajax game has probably come round at the right time as well. I think they're bang in form. We're not in good form. So many people will probably be expecting Ajax to go to, Anfield and, turn us over. But, obviously if it gets moved, I mean, there's even doubt it could go ahead anyway. We just need to obviously wait and see. But we badly need a fast start. We need a fast start because Ajax are absolutely on fire right now. They won 5-0 earlier today as well. They beat Rangers pretty easily as well. So fast start, early goal would be absolutely fantastic, and make sure we don't concede the first goal.
Doug, give me your lineup. I'll put it on screen. Give me formation and give me the players, and I'll put your lineup on screen.
Well, Ali obviously in goal. Simicast, Verge, Matip.
You drop Trent or you play Gomez right back.
Do you know what? I would probably drop Trent for this.
I'm doing the exact same, by the way.
I would play Gomez. I'd play Gomez ahead of Trent. Fab, Thiago. I think Harvey Elliott needs a break. I think he does. For me, I think he'd go for the Arthur, possibly. I think he'd go for Arthur. And then I think it'll be Salah, Diaz, Jota.
That's your team. Next up, so Michael, tell me how you think you go against Ajax. And then once you've done that, give me your team and I'll put it up on screen.
Well, I'll make it easy. I'm going to have the same lineup as Doug. I'm dropping Trent. That guy's... I don't know what to say about him. His attitude is absolutely horrendous. For a guy who was praised so much and the loyalty that he has showed to this club. But right now, he needs to be dropped and taught a lesson. Because he played 90 minutes against Napoli. How did he play 90 minutes on that field? I have absolutely no clue. He should have been hooked off at halftime for how pathetic of a performance that was. Just no desire. But against Ajax, I'm not confident whatsoever. They're exactly the team that we hate playing against. They have a false nine in Mohamed Kudus, who's absolutely on fire, who's a false nine, has all the movement, something that our team has not been able to deal with in the last couple of seasons. Then you have Bergwijn, and then you have Tadic, who we have to keep Tadic quiet. If we can keep Tadic quiet in this game, we have a chance of winning. The one thing on our side, though, thankfully it's at Anfield. Champions League nights at Anfield is always good. But, I mean, we have to take the game to Ajax. That's something that teams have not done this season to Ajax. Take it to them. I want to see how Calvin Bastian, Timber, and Rensch, and if it's going to be Daley Blind on the left back, how they're going to respond to that. Because their goalkeeper, Pasver, he's not the greatest, so we have to just try and test this defense. We have to take the game. We must have the pressing. I'm not confident still, though. I still think it's going to be a draw this game. I really do, because I just think our team is just so fragile at the moment.
So your score prediction is what?
I would say 2-2. I think both
Okay.
teams will concede and then they will score. And I will go with the same lineup as Doug.
Doug, I forgot to ask you your score prediction for Liverpool Ajax.
I'm going to go for the very optimistic 2-1 win.
Fair enough.
Proper
We're
red.
going to have someone positive. Sebastian, tell me how you think the game will go. Give me your lineup, I'll put it on screen. And then after you've done that, give me your score prediction.
Well, I would have the same lineup, but my attack would be I would drop Salah, if I'm being honest here, because he hasn't been the best, and I think we gotta give him a rest to just put it in his head that if you don't perform, you gotta go to the bench.
So who would you replace Salah with?
I would put Jota on the right and then start David Nunez.
So you're doing this. You're going Nunez up top, Jota here, or you swapping? You're doing this. Nunez, Diaz, Jota, yeah?
Yes.
Jota's better on the left, though.
So I personally would do this.
Yeah, I would do that. If you're going to start
on the
those
right
front
wing,
three.
he is absolutely useless.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't work. Score prediction, Sebastian.
I wouldn't say Liverpool win, of course, but of course, this Ajax team, I think they're too good to lose this game. I'm going for 2 to draw.
I'll just say this, Jersey boy. If this game was in Amsterdam, automatic L.
Yeah, I agree.
Straight up.
I agree. Stephen, give me your team and give me your score prediction, please.
Team, keeping the back line the same. Trent, that definitely has to be dropped for me. It's done nothing for me to show that he deserves a place in the right back spot. He's been awfully defensively and forward line. Robbo's done nothing either. He needs a break, in my opinion, Robbo. So I think giving Simicast that run of games will be hopefully be the making of Simicast, and won't have to worry about him moving on next season just because Robbo got more games than him. So that's my back line for Ajax. And the midfield, I'm keeping Thiago and Fabinho in there. Yes, I would definitely think of starting Melo just because of the experience, but I'm dropping Melo and I'm putting in Carvalho in. I'm giving Carvalho the chance against Ajax. I feel like
Are you playing fourth? I don't know if he's fit.
Yeah, I don't know if he's fit for this game though.
Oh, he's not. Oh, he's not fit though.
I don't think so.
Right.
No,
I think I saw something in the week that he's not quite ready yet.
Yeah.
Right. So, I would start. If Carvalho's not fit, then I see Elliot. Elliot for me is a risky one. I feel like if Elliot starts, we know he's been the best out of all the midfielders, but I think like what Doug and Michael said, he needs a break. In my opinion. So if that's the case, then and you do need to give him the break, I feel like yes, let's start. I would give Melo, but I feel like if Carvalho was to come back, if Carvalho was injury free, I would start him in the game. So
and your front three. Were you changing anything?
I'm going with Sebastian. I'm keeping that front three the same. I'm taking action. I'm dropping Salah for this game. He's done nothing in what the 4-3-3 has done for him lately. He's too far out wide. Why is he not going into boxes like he used to do before? Why is he continually demanded by club to play this way? It makes no sense. He's really one of the best forwards in the world, and you're really telling him to be more wide. It doesn't make sense to me. Then what's the point in that? So give Diaz, Nunez, and Jota a try for the first time. Yes, it's only a Champions League group stage game, and you can't say it's a more and you can't say it's a much more important game just because of where we are in the Champions League. But I feel like Nunez, Jota, and Diaz is a really dangerous front line that you can look at, and I feel like Diaz can do a job on the right. Johnson can definitely do a really good job on the left, and I think Nunez can do a really good poaching job on the forward line if he really gets to going. You know what I mean? So the team you have out there right now, that's my team for Ajax.
Okay, so for me, I'll go quickly. For me, I'm going exact the same. I think if we play the same team against Napoli, we're coming away from Anfield with another L. For me, last thing, Stephen, your score prediction.
It's not going to be easy. I'm going to go. It's going to be a really, really, really high intensity game. It's going to be like one of those games where against Benfica and Salzburg, if you guys remember, we took it to the wire with them teams, and it's going to be a 3-2 win for Liverpool. It's going to be, and we're going to get a 75th minute win. 3-2.
I'm going the same team, and I'm going 1-1. I have no confidence. I've been trying to be optimistic, but we keep getting worse. If we keep getting worse, I won't be surprised if we left Anfield or wherever we played this game with a 6-0 loss or something. The way it's going. But last thing before we go, I'll quickly ask you guys this last thing before we end the podcast, and I'll start with you, Michael, and then we'll go to Doug. Michael, what do we do next? What do we do next, man?
Pray. That's all we can do at this moment. We just gotta hope we get top 4 this season. Cause at this rate, we are nowhere near a title charge, and we look like we don't even look like a top 4 team. We look like a relegation team with the way we're playing and the attitude that we have. So I just need to see a better attitude from the players. I really do. Maybe now with Thiago back and a bit more confidence in the midfield, that will give the defense help. But really, I just need to see a better not better performances. I just want to see the attitude better from the team, really.
Mm-hmm. Doug, what do we do next?
Well, hopefully get a performance. I think that's the one thing we're all wanting is a performance, just to see if they can actually just like get the Napoli game out of their heads and go into this Ajax game with obviously full focus, and obviously a fast start would be fantastic, and obviously an early goal. Interesting news has just come out in the Athletic. Police officers are likely to be redeployed at short notice to deal with the funeral of Queen Elizabeth II. One potential solution under discussion, this is obviously about the Premier League next week, is London clubs playing away from home next weekend instead of at home. So potentially Liverpool could be playing Chelsea at Anfield, not Stamford Bridge.
I think that's good for us, I think that's good for us. I think we play Chelsea, the atmosphere, they're getting the bounce off Potter and everything. It might be good in there, at home, been playing awful. Potter's there, they might get a bounce and win. And I think Kim from the atmosphere, Liverpool, the players and everything going on, I think that would be go in our favour, I think. Sebastian, what do we do next?
Well, try to basically qualify for the Europe next season, Champions League or Europa League or whatever the third competition. Yeah, I'm joking. Conference League, or do better in the Champions League and try to win it. Who knows? We might do some. This might be the weirdest season in the world, if I'm being honest. I think we gotta do a lot better in the next few games, because right now I have no confidence into predicting Liverpool wins, basically. Who knows? We might play in the Conference League next season in Sweden. I don't know. To be honest,
Jesus Christ, Sebastian, you're really taking us.
Please, no. I'd rather not have European football than play in the bloody Conference League, for God's sake.
I will.
Stephen, what do we do next?
I feel like for me, we got to get confidence back. How do you do that, in my opinion? I feel like if you would have taken this Wolves game off this weekend, it may help the squad. Who knows? Getting a home tie against Ajax in your first home Champions League game is really kind of crucial in a way. It can definitely build the confidence for sure. And then you're potentially at home with Chelsea next week. I think it kind of starts from there again. You definitely start from scratch. You need to look at yourselves and you have to dust down and you have to really listen to Klopp this time, and Klopp needs to listen to some of the decisions he's trying to make. Have a really big think on what you're doing, and start again against Ajax, and if we'll go tits up, we'll rant about it again, and who knows where we go from there.
For me, what I think we need to do next is Klopp needs to stop being stubborn and show the players, no matter how good you are, how much you're worth. If you play shit, you are going on the bench. That's what I want to see. If Salah shit, the problem is, how the hell did Trent Alexander, like you said, Michael, how the hell did Trent last 90 minutes? He was one of the worst players on that pitch, and he was still not marking. Even when Gomez came off, the amount of times they kept going through his side, it was like nearly 5-1, like 8 times. You were awful. For me, he has to be ruthless. And against Ajax and against Chelsea, we need to see Klopp be ruthless. Because if he doesn't, and we play against Ajax, and if I swear to God, if Milner plays against Ajax, I'm going to bury my head through the wall. I said it about Napoli, and he still did it.
Yeah.
It's like a prediction. It's like a bet. I'm going to put a £10 bet Milner starting against Ajax. I bet you he's starting against Ajax. I bet you.
How much will you win if you're right? Like 80,
Nothing. But anyway, guys, what we're going to do is this podcast is going to be every 2 weeks. Not every week. Every 2 weeks, because if every week it gets a bit boring. So it's every 2 weeks. If something's happened, we'll do what is every 2 weeks. Thank you, Doug, for coming on last minute notice.
No problem.
Please go subscribe to Doug. Doug is going exceptionally big at the moment. A man's just got married, doing bits on his channel, it's going good for you. The only bad side is you're having to watch liver shite, unfortunately. But other than that, life's good for you, which is good. What you got coming up next, Doug?
Yeah, I've got a Champions League preview and predictions show tomorrow at 7 o'clock, so that's worth tuning in for. So yeah, I'll be doing that tomorrow. But yeah, just come and check me out on the Duggar Football channel, and yeah, thank you for those kind words.
No problem. I'm going to put the link in right now in the chat for your stream tomorrow, if I can find it. Yes, I can. Yes, so guys, tomorrow Doug will be doing a stream. Put the link in the chat right now. This is the stream. We'll be doing Champions League predictions. So make sure to check that out. Michael, thank you for coming on, bro. You're one of the first guests on the Ryan LFC Liverpool podcast, and I hope you're a regular occurrence on here. Same for you, Doug, if you guys got time. Michael, what you got coming up next, man?
Monday night Champions League prediction show with Dom. So that's pretty much it.
Have you got it scheduled?
Yep, got it scheduled already.
Yeah,
and then pretty much just next week is all Champions League, and then Thursday I'm heading to Rome.
Oh yeah.
Nice. What are you doing in Rome?
Going to watch AS Roma against HJK, my first ever European away night.
Are you gonna vlog it? Or are you gonna just?
I don't really have a good camera for the vlog, so I'm just gonna enjoy the night pretty much.
Well, I'll put the link in the chat. That's this one here is Michael's stream, with Doug, not the Doug. Michael's stream with Dom.
There you go.
Doug's stream tomorrow for the Champions League predictions.
Thanks.
Sebastian, thank you for coming on as always for every stream. I'll say you've got anything coming up next, but you don't have a real channel, so I think you've got anything coming up.
I have something coming up.
What's that? Tell me, what's that?
The Champions League predictions and UL and USL on Monday. Then tomorrow I'm gonna do a huge watch on for the whole day. I'm gonna.
Oh yeah. So if people don't want it, Sebastian's gonna attempt tomorrow to do a stream. That's non-stop all down stream, yeah, where he's watching every game. You're gonna get. Yeah, but you're doing a stream all day. You're not gonna just watch one game.
I'm gonna have people on it, so.
Oh, okay. Let's see then. Stephen, thank you for coming on as always for the watch alongs on the Ryan LFC channel. What you got coming up next?
Yes.
In terms of you doing any, I know you don't really do any streams, but are you got any streams you plan to be on and stuff like that?
Yeah, but apart from football, and I do here on Ryan LFC, I have a separate channel called Stephen Stovall Irish Rugby. It's all basically all rugby channel based, and I focus very much on Irish rugby and on what the traditions are and how I do match reactions, do match previews, so make sure to head over there if you can. The new season's coming up for rugby based in Ireland, and stay tuned. That's all I have to say. Stay tuned. I'm on the road to a good 600 or 500 subscribers, so it'll really help you out. So good.
Yeah. So yes, if you look up, what is it? Say the name again.
Stephen Somerville, Irish Rugby.
So there you go, guys. Please check it out. For me, for the Ryan channel, we'll be back, I believe, for more Liverpool content. What are we today? Today we're Saturday. We'll be back Monday. Monday, yeah, because tomorrow I'll be busy. I'm moving back to Brighton. Tomorrow, I'm not moving back to Brighton, but I'm moving everything back to Brighton, and I'll come in next week to Brighton. So Monday we'll be live doing Champions League predictions. But it won't be a Champions League prediction show. It's going to be Ajax preview, but I will predict all the other games. And then a watch along on Wednesday. When is it? Tuesday game.
Tuesday.
Tuesday, aren't we? So yeah, Monday we'll play Tuesday. Tuesday we'll be doing a multiplex stream, which means we'll go through all the games at the same time. Especially keeping an eye on Bayern Barcelona, because that's going to be a game. You know, Barcelona winning 4-0. Bayern again drawing. I don't know what's going on there up front for them. And then probably during the Stuttgart, something going on over there. Maybe Barca get revenge. We'll see. But again, thank you, Doug. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Sebastian. Thank you, Stephen. We'll be back in 2 weeks. Again, I will let all of you know when the next one is, and you can let me know if you're available or not. Thank you. Make sure to check out Doug Out Football channel. Michael Talks Football. Sebastian. You just see a picture of a Swedish thing, and you'll know it's Sebastian. And Stephen is a picture of Ireland and rugby. So there you go. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Enjoy. And by the way, Michael, enjoy the game.
Yeah,
thank you. Hopefully it's a win.
Hopefully it's a win. Yeah. I'm hoping to get some games this season. I'm probably going to go see if I can get some Brighton games. I literally live 10 minutes away from the stadium, from Brighton Stadium. So I might go just see. I might see if I can go, because Brighton, Liverpool away. Going to Brighton. Brighton fans are really nice. They're not twats. So, all right. Thank you guys for watching. We'll be back soon, and as always, peace out.
Thank you.